Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Today we are going to do a should you poll on the Aerith banners. And surprise, surprise, I'm doing this live. I'm on a live stream right now. I decided to live stream for the Dokkan World Tournament, and we're just chilling. And I'm like, you know what, guys? Should we just go do the video? And they're like, heck yeah, let's go do the video. So you never know. If you like and sub to the channel, you'll get notifications, and you might know when I go live, and you might get early access to one of these videos. I definitely do it for the hype character guys, and I think we're going to be live streaming for Aerith. So keep your eye out on that. Basically, when her banners drop, I will be live streaming my polls and then the character guide. So if you want to get in on that, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification button, then you'll know that it's going to happen, right? All right, so we got two banners here. So we got a Zack banner and we've got an Aerith banner. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about who's on the banners, give you a little summary of what the character does, and then let you know if I think you should all pull or not on the banners, right? So the first banner here is going to have Zack, it's going to have Zell, it's going to have Aphmau. Aphmau, I would say, is an example of a side banner character that you could get use out of. Aphmau's main utility is turn manipulation. I'm going to say this right now, if you're someone that is a Reigns user, Aphmau would still combo incredibly well with Reigns, and I could see like Aphmau, Reigns, and Kurasame actually being kind of a ridiculous team. Because what you can do is Aphmau and Reigns can interact in a way where they can ping pong their own turns and leave the third character without attacking at all, essentially, right? So a couple things you can combo with this is you could put like an off turn like Kain. You could have Kain sitting up in the air, and you could have Aphmau and Reigns ping pong while Kain's dropping spheres. Like, that could be really cool. But I think Kurasame is kind of notable in that, well, maybe it wouldn't be as impactful. My thought with Kurasame would be that you'd have the BT effect up, and then the enemies would just stay frozen. But the problem is, the Reigns Aphmau trick is you're not giving the enemies turns either, so I guess that doesn't really matter. But where it does impact Kurasame, I would say, is you could keep his buff at 5 stacks and be doing 30% damage. So I think in that aspect, it is still like a nice combo with Kurasame. So you could do Aphmau, and this can combo with other characters. It's just a lot of turn manipulation. Aphmau's damage, terrible. Like, pretty much consider like you're not getting any damage out of her. It's not good. But she's there for like the turn manipulation. Should you pull on this banner just for Aphmau? No. I would say only in very rare instances would I say the banner's worth pulling on just for the side character. That's very rare. That would be like Selfie or Gladio level. But this one would not be the case. So Aphmau, if you get her, you can do some turn shenanigans with that, but not necessary, right? Then we have Zell. Zell is definitely not worth pulling for. He's just basically a damage dealer, and we've talked about this before. You really can't sustain yourself. You can't really compete with BTFR characters if you're an LD only banner character. You just can't, right? Zell, he's kind of like a mini Terra. He can do things where he gets a lot of turns. His kit is very unique, though. He's kind of fun to play, where his attacks are like on rotations and like you're forced into certain attacks. He's interesting. He's interesting to play, but as his main role being a DPS, he's not really worth it, right? Then we have Zack. Zack is a very, very good tank. And I do think if your box is lacking tanks, Zack is a very good pickup. So Zack definitely will have worth for some players. I know there are many players that already have Zack's kit, so pulling on this is a non-factor anyways. So obviously if you already have Zack, there's no real reason to pull here. But if you're a newer player, I think Zack is a good character to have in your box because you're going to want multiple tanks for lockout content. Now, I know Rubicante's banner should still be up, I think, when this banner comes up. But if anything, Rubicante's banner is up right now, right, as I'm doing this video. So if you're contemplating getting Zack, but you don't have Rubicante, you all need to get Rubicante. Rubicante, you're going to pretty much always use over Zack, except for the rare case of a Fire Elemental lockout. But Rubicante is just hands down better. But Zack is still fantastic. The only thing with Zack is that he doesn't counter, but I would say Zack's on-turn damage is better than most tanks. So you could get some value with Zack as your main DPS, right? So yeah, Zack, I think for some players will be a nice pickup. Is it a must-pull for every single player? Probably not, unless you have like 0 tanks, but in that case, you need to get Rubicante. So I would say probably a no-go for some players, and for some players, maybe yes. The next banner here is we've got Aerith, and we've got Alice, and we've got Ignis. So let's start with Ignis. I will start off by saying that Ignis would qualify as a very, very good banner character to pick up for 2 reasons. One, his call is actually very good. It's one of the few party fire enchant calls in the game. So this could combo really well with another character where that maybe doesn't fire enchant, but you want that fire damage on them. Or if you want to add fire to the party and you want a non-elemental team. But yeah, Ignis' call is very good for that, and it's got healing on it. Healing is a good thing to have on calls. But Ignis in the party, I think, is usable in Shinryu, provided that probably the other two characters are Echo characters. But Ignis as a support character is very, very good. And he'll enchant you for fire if that's something you want. He's mainly like a healing battery type character, and he's got like a smidge of turn manipulation too. So he can fill that support role, does do turn manipulation, and has a good call. So I think there are a lot of good things about Ignis here if you happen to pick him up. Alice, I would say, is kind of a fun character, but unfortunately for Alice, she falls in that same role as Zell, where she's primarily a DPS, and without FRBT, her numbers just won't be there. But she is a very fun, she's unique because she's like balancing between two elements. You build up stacks on the elements, and then you do different really powerful attacks as you build the stacks. I think Alice is incredibly fun to play. I enjoy playing her. Whenever her FRBT comes, I'll definitely be all for it. I think she'll be a very fun character. But right now, Alice isn't really a character that's worth it, so don't worry about that. And then we have Aerith. Aerith is the girl of the hour. And she's one that unless you haven't been watching my channel, you already know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say you should pull for Aerith. Aerith is fantastic. I think the most notable thing about her is she is the first Echo character that is going to have the insane Echo charge. And that what I mean by that is her FR is a non-damaging like battery type of attack, which is like a force charge move. And what she's going to get on that is she's going to get a base rate of 80% on an Echo. And it's going to be a free instant turn. So the way I would probably use Aerith is use a different character's FR. And then Aerith literally can just double Echo back to back and pump the gauge up like huge. And these non-damaging Echoes, you want to use them early because they don't do damage. So waiting till later to use them doesn't really do anything for you. So she's the type of character that you pop your FR, double Echo with her. Your HP gauge is going to be insane. Like very early, very quick. And then she has top tier auras in the game. Very good healing character, very good battery character. She's got a new revive mechanic she gets with her BT. That's very good. She's the type of character that not only is like very top tier meta relevant right now, but she's the type of character that will age incredibly well. These are the types of characters that will last for months, if not maybe even an entire year, and can basically... I think she's a character that'll make it till the next time she gets a rework. We'll put it that way, right? She's going to be good for a long time. A very good investment character. Even if you already have good support characters and tanks are the two types of characters that I think you need to have many of these characters in your box. Because in lockout content, like every team comp, I want a support character, right? And many difficult fights, I want a tank. So you want to have multiples of these because we do have Dare to Defy 3 coming. And then there's Dimensions End, which I know some players are working on. But you really, really need to have access to a lot of support characters and a lot of tanks. So even though Aerith is top tier right now, she might not be top tier in a couple months. But darn it if she isn't going to be still really good to use as a support character in lockout content or in main content if you don't have other support characters. So Aerith to me is kind of like one of the must-pull banners of the month. Now, the problem people are going to have with Aerith is the problem I'm going to have, in that a lot of players already have her maxed out because she is really good. She's been pretty much every iteration of Aerith has been good. In support characters, it's really hard to go wrong with these characters. They're very, very good for just the auras and support that they're doing to the party, right? So the problem I think a lot of players will have with this banner is they might literally only need Aerith BT and nothing else, and that's the situation I'm going to be in. So I would say if you're a player that has Aerith already maxed out and you have 50 BT tokens, this should 100% be your spot to use those, because it allows you to entirely skip the banner and not put a resource in, and then you just guarantee get her BT and you're saving resources as if you were skipping the banner completely. That's really what you need to do with Aerith there, right? So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of these banners. Let me know if you're going to pull or not. But I would say this banner right here, this Aerith and Ignis, very, very good. Ignis is very good value to be getting on the side with her. But she's a top tier support character. The Zack, I'm going to say that one's more up to you. The Zack isn't a must for everybody, but once again, very good idea to have multiple tanks in your box. He does what he does very well as a tank. He's pretty darn unkillable. He gets the zombie mechanic like Auron, where like he just, not Auron, other guy, Final Fantasy 15 guy with the hat. You know who I'm talking about. Gets the thing where, wait, I gotta get his name. Sorry, I'm really bad with names, you guys. There's so many names in this game, and I keep forgetting them. This Arden, I saw his face. I didn't have to look at it. Arden, he's got the Arden mechanic where he can't die, which is very good, right? So he will do his job very well as a tank. So if you need more tanks, definitely pick up Zack. If you have Rubicante, you're not worried about lockout content, then you probably don't need Zack. You probably can skip. I think Aphmau can be a fun pickup. You're probably not going to get any use out of Zell. Unfortunately, you're probably not going to get any use out of Alisei. But yeah, Aerith, yes, everybody should pull on this banner. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.